Welcome to ComfortTV.channel news. My name is Faith Kevin. On the news highlights, Ex.Abia Deputy Governor Chukwu resigns from PDP after endorsing Otti for second term. APC chieftain says Tinubu's re-election in Southeast dependent on Nnamdi Kanu's release. President Tinubu appoints 39-year-old NERC chairman. NCAA drags Fuji musician Kwam to AGF IGP after Abuja airport incident. On business, Naira returns to appreciation against the dollar as Nigeria's external reserves swell. And on the foreign news, Ghana investigators find black boxes of helicopter that crashed and killed 2 ministers. Also, Netanyahu divides Israelis and allies with plan for new military push in Gaza. And on sports, Thomas Partey completes Villarreal move while on bail for rape charges. Now the news. Former Deputy Governor of Abia State, Ude Okochukwu, has resigned from his party, the People's Democratic Party (PDP). His resignation comes a week after he visited Governor Allex Otti, where he endorsed the re-election of the governor for a second term. Okochukwu, in a resignation letter dated August 5, 2025, which he addressed to the PDP chairman Ndielu Ward in Mboro, Ohafia local government area, said his decision was a personal but difficult one. He also appreciated the PDP for the opportunities given to him to serve. Though the ex-deputy governor did not indicate his next move in the letter, it is speculated that he may join the Nenade Usman faction of the Labour Party. It is also highly speculated in Abia that Okochukwu will contest the Abia North senatorial seat against the incumbent Senator Oji Uzokalu. A chieftain of the All Progressives Congress (APC) and leader of the Southeast Tinubu support group, George Abakai, has said that the release of Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra (IPOB), will be a major factor in determining President Bola Tinubu's chances of re-election in the Southeast. Abakai stated while speaking during an interview on television. He highlighted the achievements of the Tinubu administration in the region, especially in terms of infrastructural development. Abakai, however, maintained that beyond infrastructure, the continued detention of Nnamdi Kanu remains a critical political issue that could influence voter sentiment in the region. President Bola Tinubu has nominated Abdullahi Garba Ramat as the new chairman and chief executive officer of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission (NERC). In a statement issued by the presidential spokesperson Ramat, aged 39, is described as an electrical engineer and administrator, holding a PhD in strategic management among other qualifications. President Tinubu also nominated 2 individuals to serve as commissioners on the NEC board. The nominees are Mr. Abubakar Yusuf, the Commissioner for Consumer Affairs, and Dr. Fawad Olayinka Animashu, Commissioner for Finance and Management Service. The presidency noted that all nominations are subject to confirmation by the Senate. However, to avoid a leadership vacuum in the critical regulatory agency, the president directed that Engineer Ramat assume office in an acting capacity pending his screening by the Senate as stipulated by the law. President Tinubu urged the new appointees to use their knowledge and experience to discharge their functions and work assiduously to advance the administration's power sector vision. The Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority has officially petitioned the country's Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi, and the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, to investigate and prosecute Fuji musician Wasiu Ayinde Marshal, popularly known as K1 the Ultimate, Kwam, for allegedly obstructing an aircraft at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja. NCAA disclosed this in a statement on X. This comes after the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, confirmed that K-1, the ultimate, obstructed aircraft and has been placed on a no-fly list by Nigerian airline operators. The minister directed the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA, to place King Wasiu Ayinde Marshal Kwam-1 on a no-fly list. The minister also directed the NCAA to immediately notify both domestic and international airlines of the directive, adding that anyone who flouts the directive risks withdrawal of their operating license. ComfortTV.channel news continues shortly with business, foreign and sports news. Stay tuned. Many thanks for staying tuned. This is ComfortTV.channel news. On business, the Naira has bounced back to appreciate against the dollar at the official foreign exchange markets as Nigeria's external reserves continue to rise. The Central Bank of Nigeria's data showed that the Naira gained slightly at 1,533 Naira 73 kobo against the dollar, from 1,534 Naira 44 kobo traded during the week. This means that Nigeria's currency marginally strengthened by 0 Naira 70 kobo against the dollar on a day-to-day basis. Meanwhile, at the black markets, the Naira remained flat at 1,565 Naira, the same exchange rate recorded the previous day. The development followed the continued rise in the country's external reserves, which stood at $39.99 billion as of 6 August 2025, up from $39.81 billion on the 4th of this month, according to the CBN data. On foreign news, Ghana's President John Mahama has promised a full investigation into Wednesday's helicopter crash that killed 2 government ministers and 6 other people. Defense Minister Edward Omane Boama and Environment, Science and Technology Minister Ibrahim Murtala Mohammed, both 50, were among those killed when a military aircraft crashed in the Central Ashanti region. In a televised address to the nation, Mahama said the crash represented a personal loss for him. The president confirmed that the flight data and cockpit voice recorders, often referred to as the black boxes, have been retrieved, and that the armed forces had initiated a full and transparent investigation. The Z-9 helicopter carrying the 3 crew and 5 passengers came down in a dense forest as it was flying from the capital, Accra, to the town of Obuasi for an event to tackle illegal mining. There were no survivors. The bodies of the 8 deceased have been recovered from the crash site and samples have been sent to South Africa for forensic identification and analysis. Ghana's Deputy National Security Coordinator and former Agriculture Minister Alhaji Muniru Mohammed was also among the dead, along with Samuel Sapong, Vice Chairman of the governing National Democratic Congress Party. A state funeral will be held on 15th August for the victims. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's controversial plans for a new military push in the Gaza Strip have raised warnings from the army leadership, opposition from hostage families, and concerns that more Palestinians will be killed. They also risk isolating his country even further. In a meeting of the Security Cabinet that lasted 10 hours, ministers approved proposals for the takeover of Gaza City, which is likely to be the first phase of the Israeli military to assume full control of Gaza, as Netanyahu says it's his intention. It is not clear when the operations, which could take months, will start, as the military will have to call up thousands of reservists, exhausted from serving multiple times, and allow for the forced evacuation of residents from an area where around 800,000 Palestinians live. The plans will spark fresh condemnation from countries which have expressed anger over the situation in Gaza and urged Israel to end the war, which started as a response to Hamas attacks on Israel on 7 October 2023. On sports, former Arsenal midfielder Thomas Partey, who is currently facing 5 rape charges in England, has completed a move to Spanish club Villarreal. The 32-year-old Ghana international who denies the allegations was granted conditional bail on August 5 after appearing in a London court on 5 counts of rape against 2 women and 1 count of sexual assault against a third woman. The alleged offences took place between 2021 and 2022 when he was an Arsenal player. Partey was charged on July 4 days after leaving the Gunners when his contract expired at the end of June. In announcing his arrival, Villarreal stressed that they respect the fundamental principle of the presumption of innocence. The club's statement continued that the player strongly proclaims his innocence and denies all the accusations made against him. The club, however, awaits the judiciary's decision, which will be responsible for clarifying the facts alleged against the player. Partey is due to appear at London's Old Bailey Court on September 2. He joined Arsenal for $60 million from Atletico Madrid in October 2020. The club, however, awaits the judiciary's decision, which will be responsible for clarifying the facts alleged against him. Partey is due to appear at London's Old Bailey Court on September 2. That's the size of our news package, but before we go, here are the headlines. Ex.Abia Deputy Governor Chukwu resigns from PDP after endorsing Otti for second term. APC chieftain says Tinubu's re-election in the southeast is dependent on Nnamdi Kanu's release. President Tinubu appoints 39-year-old NEC chairman. NCAA drags Fuji musician Kwamwan after Abuja airport incident. On business news, we brought you that the Naira has returned to appreciating against the dollar as Nigeria's external reserves swell. On the foreign scene, Ghana investigators find black boxes of helicopters that crashed and killed 2 ministers. Netanyahu divides Israelis and allies with plan for new military push in Gaza. And on sports, we brought you that Thomas Partey completes Villarreal move while on bail for rape charges. And that's ComfortTV.channel news. Many thanks for listening. My name is Faith Gavin. Remember to like, drop a comment, and share.